So the first thing that I want to look at is branding. So sometimes I think we can get a bit misled with branding, because I know for me I have done in the past, especially in the earlier days, like, oh no, I'm going to create a brand like Coca-Cola or McVitie's. And I think we forget that these people have been going like since the 1800s. No, we do. And like we're in 2018. It's like, really? And when these brands were created, to be fair, the marketplace, it was empty. Because of the internet now, the marketplace is absolutely saturated. So understanding what your brand is the marketing practice of creating a name, symbol or design that identifies, differentiates a product from other products. So sometimes I think we can get lost in a sense that, I'm going to give you a live example. I've got a client at the moment, a security company, and they're older guys, they're in their 60s. So their idea of branding is to get loads of like high vis vests, jackets, and all this clothing material with their logo on it. But no one doesn't know who you are. So if you really think about it from a branding exercise, it's kind of like, well, is that the best place to spend money? So an effective brand strategy simply just means, what is your promise to a customer? It is as simple as that. And when I say what is your message to a customer and what is your promising, to give you really big examples of who does it well, like Virgin does it well. You'll see the Virgin, there's something about what Virgin's done is they've established themselves as a brand that when you think of them, you think that they're high end and they look after you at good value. They don't have to say anything to do that, but it's in the professionalism. And I think as a small business, you need to understand what is it you want your brand to mean to people. And I think the trick of doing that the best is professionalism. You have to be able to scream a brand that looks like you're bigger than what you are. That is the best way for me to describe it to you. You know, when you go onto my website, I don't want you to think that I'm working out of my study that's cluttered. I'm just saying, you don't want to give anybody that impression. You want to give the impression that you are a trusted, responsible brand, that, you know, people can trust you to carry out your services or deal with them. It's really, really important. It's a professionalism that goes with it. So having customer service policies in place. So even with the candles, I have a no quibble policy. If you don't like it, send it back. I'll send you another one. Or if you don't like it, I'll refund it. But it puts me in a marketplace where I'm not squabbling, arguing, and I sell a luxury item and I put my money where my mouth is. And it gives me a sense of professionalism because, hey, I'm not Yankee Candles. So there's things that I've got to do more so than a brand like that, just to show a customer I'm just as good as they are because I offer all of this. And it's the way you display the information as well. It's really, really, really important. So a nice, good, clean, clear logo. And for logos, believe it or not, you do want to stick more corporate. If you are creative, that's fine, but don't make it too complicated and don't alienate different people. You just want something really simple. Even when it comes to looking at names, by the way, I tend to find when people are thinking about names, they try to go really creative. I stop doing that, especially when we get onto SEO. Do what it says on the tin. It's just like, it just makes, otherwise you're just going to have so much more harder work of trying to explain to someone. You know, on The Apprentice, when they get to name their teams and they all come up with these names where it's just like you've got to get the thesaurus out and look in the dictionary. Why? Because now as a team, every time you go out, you have to then have a whole paragraph and explanation of what it is that this word means. So try to stick to things that says what it does on the tin. And, you know, it's good to have some type of strapline or a mission that, again, says to someone what it is that you do. But the professionalism bit is really, really important, guys. I don't ever expect to see a mobile telephone number on a website. Even if you did, no, actually, there's just no excuse for it. You can buy a number and divert that to your mobile because you want to seem like you're either going through to a call centre, office, or a place of business. Again, it communicates trust. I don't ever expect to see Gmail, Hotmails, anything like that. It should be the name of your domain on your email address. These are the little things. Think about when you're about to use someone that you've never used before. These are the little red flags. When you start seeing Gmail and Hotmail, you're like, There's times that I've even gone onto eBay and I've thought, I don't like the sound of this seller. So I've gone and put their name into Google to see if they've got their own website and their own shop. Like, think about what you were like as a buyer. If I go onto somewhere and they only ever offer me a PayPal option to pay, again, I think, why is that? So it's really small things with branding. I think that's what people don't understand. It's the professionalism. You need to create a brand that looks like your final destination. And that's the bit that can be really, really hard. It is not actually that easy. because you have to now think of your target audience. And people talk about target audiences a lot, I find. And actually, if you want me to be honest with you, in terms of branding, I think this is the hardest thing. It really, really is. It is not easy to understand who your target audience is. I've had many businesses over the years, and there are times where I think I've had a target audience, and it's not that target audience isn't who I actually think it is. So that's why your brand needs to be very clear on where you're positioning yourself in the market. It has to be crystal clear. So where do you sit in the marketplace? Are you the innovative maverick in your industry, or the experienced, reliable one? Is your product high cost, high quality option, or low cost? Is it high value? And the main thing why I've put that there is that I need to imprint this. You cannot be everything to everyone. You just can't. Pick a space. So if you're going for a high-end audience, you do have to start thinking what a high-end audience is. Like one of my clients at the moment, she's a personal trainer, and she's frustrating me, really frustrating me at the moment. She's actually really good. She's the cause of me looking a bit smaller lately. But she's actually really, really good at what she does. But every time that I'm saying to her, let's run this promotion, she keeps saying to me, yeah, but people can't afford it, because she's judging people by her own standards. That's why. She's not understanding. She doesn't understand what it looks like, her audience looks like. So one of the things that I want everybody to do, even you, even though you might be doing well, is go onto the internet and look up customer avatar. If you go onto YouTube, usually I would show a video, but let's really not tempt the presentation. And this is something you can do in your own time, because it's definitely worth doing. Please look up customer avatar and what a customer avatar is. So I've been doing this lately, and it works really well. So let's take the candles. So NNN Inspirational Gifts. So I did a avatar for this. So I'm going to show you what avatar looks like. So this is how I saw my avatar. My avatar is Sally. Can't draw, by the way. Like, Sally gets up every morning. Sally goes for a jog. She likes her house really neat and tidy. She suffers from extreme OCD. She loves home accessories. She's a candle and scent lover. She's someone that wears really nice perfume every day, because she's very aware of smells around her and how she smells and how she looks. She's not really a kid-friendly person. You know, she's professional. Sally works in the city. She goes for drinks on a Thursday and Friday night. On a Sunday morning, she does yoga. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah. I'm creating a profile for Sally's life and for what Sally does. And that is what a customer avatar is. And this is such a useful exercise for you to determine who is your target audience. Start really thinking who your audience is and what you do. Because I tell you something, and it's really common, and I try my best not to do it. And actually, for me, I'm actually trying to change my blueprint at the moment. Our blueprint on where we come from and how we see other people can have a detrimental effect on who we think our audience is. Just like we don't like to be judged, you do have to really think about it with a complete blank canvas of what is it does your customer look like? What do they get up and do every day? What do they do when they go into the supermarket? What are their spending habits? You know, what is it they like? Where do they like to enjoy spending most of their time? You know, are they people that are beauty or health conscious? You know, are they into animal rights? Are they women rights? I'm just saying, is it someone that's a stay-at-home mum, but actually a stay-at-home mum that has got a husband and doesn't work and her income comes from there? It's about thinking about all the details in it. You know, even if you was targeting people that work at care homes, for example, you know, is it someone that feels really passionate about a lot of the abuse that happens in care homes, and in their spare time they do a lot of charity work or fundraising? You know, it's about looking at the real lifestyle and getting deep and personal into what is it and where your target audience does. Because until you can answer those questions, this topic starts to become your blueprint of putting your feelings, what you think, and judgment onto someone and an audience. And also, I don't know if any of you have heard of things like Mintel reports or marketing reports, or you start doing official research like that, which brackets people via income. Income doesn't mean anything nowadays. People will max their credit cards for whatever's important to them. So you can't even go by income and looking at things like that. So you need to look at Sally. So that might be your avatar number one. Avatar number two. Sorry, because it's candles, I haven't really got any men. So there's Sally. Avatar number 2 might be, I don't know, Emma. Emma's a really homely person. She likes her house neat and tidy. She suffers from OCD. She has 4 children. She gets up and she does a school run every day. After the school run, she goes to her step classes. She has a cleaner. She's very much into vegan recipes because one of her children has got allergies. She likes to cook from scratch every single day. Her and her family go on holiday 3 times a day. Emma is married to a husband, a man that really likes his house to be neat and tidy and expects his woman to make sure that happens for him and his dinner's on the table. I'm just giving you. Emma at night time loves to burn candles with a glass of wine because her day's absolutely exhausted because no one ever thinks about the things she's got to do because she's a housewife. It's deemed that she does nothing. So her time is setting a mood at the end of the day that can just let her relax, and she likes candles for that reason. You keep going. So in the end, when you keep doing this exercise, you should end up with about at least 10 avatars. And that will start giving you an indication, does that make sense, of who it is that you're targeting. You need to bring your target audience to life. They're real people, and stop thinking about them. And I know this goes against every single marketing strategy that you probably learn online. You need to start thinking about them. Even for you, it might be care homes, and it is quite a mechanical industry. The care home industry is tough. It is. There's a lot of guidelines they've got to follow. It then starts to become about red tape. But essentially, who you're marketing to, they are still human. All of you, your customers are still humans that have wants, needs, and desires. And it's for you to really look at, okay, who is my customer and how can I fulfill their need? For you, it is. Why are you going to West End after work and getting home an hour later for this top treatment where you can come to me? So within your local area, and this is where Facebook comes into play, and Instagram, because Facebook owns Instagram, that you could be drilling down local marketing, but to the right target audience and putting campaigns out and really establishing, you're going to keep hearing me say it, but I don't know if you can see, even establishing yourself as an authority where people buy you, you need to start selling you. And it could be that you even start doing free seminars, for example, of advising women what they should be doing more with their treatments, who's got this type of skin. It could even be online tutorials, and that is what will put you a cut above even the big brand that opened around the corner from you. So yeah, do your research. What are the benefits and features of your products and service? I think sometimes we do forget, we do have to be unique. We've all heard about USP and unique selling point. And even for you, it's a challenge because you've got other salons that's open. You're in recruitment. You're in a really saturated market. Actually, we're all in saturated markets as we're sitting there. So you have to think of yourself, what is different about what you do? And that will only but come from research. I call it bloody markets you want to avoid. So any markets that's got loads of sharks means that it's just bloody and everybody's just going in for the one customer. So what can you do that's just a little bit left field or a little bit right field, so be maybe extra sane or extra crazy? You need to go one way or the other to take yourself out of that marketplace. So another thing all of you need to do is once you establish yourself as an authority, it might be even you going to training, where you're training other salons to set it up because you're an authority and you've done what you've done. You set a shop up, it's been successful, you've got a turnover. If you start producing the content, you've got years worth of experience to share. So, you know, it could be going into training. Even if you think about some of the crazy diets over the years. I don't know if you remember any of you heard the maple syrup diet. You know, just because Beyonce was doing a film and that got put out there all of a sudden. Whereas a normal day, if you'd have read that, it's like, that is so stupid. But now that somehow Beyonce's endorsed it, so things that are just a bit crazy, but yet they, in someone's head, it's like, maybe that can work. You just want to change your position a little bit. So that is a challenge for all of you to think, okay, what can I do differently? Like, for instance, this has just come to my head. My bear bug about nails. Like, my bear bug about shellac is that it looks so nice. It doesn't mess your hands up. Like, you don't have to wait for it to dry. And I love it. But the taking off process, I just think it's a nightmare and ends up ruining your nails. So if someone said to me, for instance, I could have a shellac monthly, and included in that, you can come back and have it taken off for one set price, I'd think that was great. Or selling an aftercare kit of being able to take it off at home by yourself without sitting there in this acetone for like 2 hours and I've got things to do, waiting for it to come off. But just, that's how simple it can be when I say just doing something that's different to what somebody else isn't doing. You know, everybody does the bog standard consultation, but I don't know, I could be wrong. Is anybody doing consultations depending on maybe, you know, like this whole DNA things have gotten really popular now. So this is crazy. This is just the start of brainstorming sessions. It could be that, you know, we give you a free DNA test. I'm just saying, because you know you could contact one of those companies really cheap. And with that DNA test, we will give you a formula and approach that's specifically for your skin. How to get your brand out there. So you need a great logo. Remember I said to you, clear, precise. It does need to have somewhat of a corporate feel. Even like if you look at my logo, for example, Straight Talk to Success. For me, I felt like that described me. I didn't enjoy education. I did my degree, but I did not enjoy it at all, if I was to be completely honest with you. And when I have done a lot of training and reading, for me, I like things that are told to me in layman language. Like, I don't see why something's got to be made so complicated. And then when I repeat it back and someone says, yeah, that's it, what I repeated back was just so simple. Like, why couldn't you just said that in the first place? It didn't need all the, you know, academics behind it. Like, just say it as it is, because then I can follow it and get to it. But do you see what I just said to you is like about 3, 4, 5 sentences. So to me, that was Straight Talk to Success. And you've got 2 people where someone's helping someone to take a step up to success. But look, the logo is actually really, really simple. So you need to, that's an example of what is it that I can put a logo together. Even my N&N Gifts logo, it's just an N&N together, inspirational gifts, that's it. Yeah, I might sell candles, but what I'm doing is I put a label on my candles that all got inspirational messages. So sometimes you just need to keep it simple, clear, concise, fresh, clean. Even if you want to go for bright colours and be creative, just keep it fresh and clean. Write down your brand message. So having some type of strap line is really, really key. Create a voice for your company that reflects your brand. Again, from me, you're not going to see any content that I've put out that sounds like a white paper or a dissertation, or because it's just not me. My language is very basic, direct. This is what you need to do, breaking it down into steps. Designing templates and creating brand standards. So even as you're going forward, even Malawi for you, some of the things that you're going to be talking about in your blogs are all things that women come up against, but can't necessarily articulate it. And it's quite new as well. So how you create that information in terms of, even if you look at like the presentation that I put together today, it's really important in terms of creating a brand. Because the minute you see clear, concise information that's bullet pointed, it makes people understand you should be reading this, you should be going here. Instantly, again, it just increases your brand. And be true to your brand and be consistent.